Okay, I'm going to use Zoom to record my screencast here because I have found that Zoom is so super easy for people to use that all you have to do is make sure I don't have anybody in my meeting. It's just me, but then I record from there. So just something you might want to try sometime. I'm going to share my screen and show you my new website. Let's close this. So here is my new website. I have a lot of work to do on it. Let's just put it that way. I have been meaning to create a new website using the new Google sites, but I had never had the motivation to do it until I decided to take a class and force myself to actually work on it. So this is awesome. I'm really excited that I have the bones of my site, but I feel like I still have a lot of work to do to rearrange it and to add a lot more content. My audience is the staff members in my school, as well as I'm a pretty active Twitter user, so I'm always hopeful that somebody else might get directed to this site because of something I said or did and be able to use these resources. I don't have a huge following, but I do think that I do make things accessible out there. So I do want to put useful information. Anyway, I created this background on one of our assignments. I really like it. Our colors are green and white, and so I like how that turned out. I made sure to talk about my school district immediately at the top of the page so that people knew who I was. And then I added some things that I also do that, like I said, probably need to be moved to different pages or rearranged somehow, but this is where they are right now. The first thing that I have is resource links, which I have embedded my Diigo feed. My Diigo feed comes from Twitter. Whenever I tweet something out, I use if this then that, which is a tool that allows you to do something somewhere and make it go somewhere else also. So one of the things you can do is every time you tweet, then it will send it to Diigo. The good thing about that is when I find something cool on Diigo, I have it cataloged somewhere where I can go back and look at it. The bad thing is I then need to go to Diigo and I need to delete stuff that doesn't need to be there. Like, for example, here where I retweeted something about our drum line, that doesn't need to stay in my Diigo, so I have to go to Diigo and delete it. And if I do put something there that I think should stay and be a part of the resources that I offer, then I really need to go in and tag it. But that's a whole Diigo thing. So that's one of the things that I still need to do. And I have to find a home for this feed that I've put here. The second thing that I have on my front page is my blog feed. I blog sometimes. Sometimes I do it more often than others. I'm hoping that this is the impetus for me to start blogging more often. Again, this is a link to the site so that you can actually get there, but I've also embedded it. As you can see, my latest blog post is about starting over with my website. So I've started publicizing it even though there isn't very much there, but I've worked in websites long enough to know that a website is never done. I'm never satisfied with it. You might as well publicize it and just keep clicking away at it and making it better. I also love to have a Twitter feed. You'll see that I have one on my blog, which I love. It's perfect. That's what I want. I used to have that on my website, but you can't do that in the new Google sites. So I found a guy on YouTube who suggested that you do it with Awesome Tables, which is another really useful tool for doing a whole bunch of different things. So what it does is this is somehow tied to Twitter feeds to a spreadsheet in my Drive that then feeds here. So you can see all of my tweets. I can click on my tweets. Another example would be if you have a district or a classroom hashtag, you can also make that feed so that all of those would show up. And I think that's even more useful than just seeing what I'm doing, but I wanted to play with it and I made it work. So that's my front page. And like I said, it's too much. It needs to be rearranged. It needs to be fixed. Coming off of that page is my contact page. This is where you can see me in my makeup and dressed up instead of at home in my workout clothes with no makeup. As you're seeing me right now, and my contact information as well as where I am. The second page is my Google Calendar, which I have always made my Google Calendar public because I'm a tech director for my district, so I don't do secret stuff really. And so anybody in the district can see where I am or what I'm doing, as well as my techs who work for me. My calendar doesn't get totally filled with appointments because a lot of work that I do isn't based on appointments, but this at least shows if somebody's out of the district or I'm out of the district or something. I have a staff resources page, which at this point hasn't got hardly anything on it. What I've done is these are links to the 2 pages that feed off of the staff resources page, Google Sites information and Twitter stream information. So you could get to it by going to my navigation bar here, but you can also get to it here. I need to work on this. I need to figure out what I want it to look like. This is probably where I'll move my Diigo feed at some point, but I want to figure out how to make it less giant and ostentatious. I just want it to be there as a way for people to see my Diigo and be able to search for things that they want there, which of course requires tagging my things. So anyway, here is, this links to that page off of staff resources called Google Sites. I'm pretty sure that I got this information from this course and linked it up here. I'm not very happy about the speed of these embedded sites loading, but it's not too bad, but I wish it was quicker. So that's that page. That's all that's there, is that embedded page. I didn't put anything else there. And then if you would go back or go to the navigation bar, you'll see adding a Twitter stream is a YouTube video that I looked at that I embedded here. So if you want to use Awesome Tables, that shows you how I did that, which is kind of fun. My last page is the inspirational videos page. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. The only thing that I have there is my Rita Pierson video. I think it's important that teachers and students, but especially teachers, see how important they are in kids' lives and what a good job they're doing, because we get burned too often in this world right now. And so I try to keep a lot of videos. I had a bazillion on my old website. I need to go through and see if I want to add any of those here and just stay on top of what I see at conferences or what comes across my Twitter feed that I feel like is worth sharing on my site. Like I said, my site is too little. I don't have enough stuff there yet. I want to add some student pages, not student work because I don't work with students, but just things that are going around on at school. Like for example, last week there was a 2nd grade concert where they spent the whole concert talking about our town of Storm Lake, and it was really awesome, and I really should have been there, and I wasn't, but I know that I can gather some of those resources and add them to this website, and it's a good way to drive traffic to the website, I think, because if you get kids and families going there, then that's a good thing. So anyway, that's my website. It needs a lot of work, but I'm real happy at how it started.